Iran and Israel. Trump has said that he wants Putin to be the negotiator between the two. And just trying to wrap my head around that. Obviously, Trump doesn't want to be the one negotiating this. I don't think his negotiations so far with the other conflicts have gone very well. But I don't understand what he's going to get out of this. Is this, is there a backdoor deal with Ukraine that he's going to put Putin in charge of this? I mean, maybe you have some insight into that.
Great questions. Kristin.
I don't know if I would say I have insight, but, I think it is part of the strategy. I think Trump is always, maybe one or two steps ahead in that sense. But face value, looking at it, it's almost like getting, you're on the schoolyard and there are two bullies in different camps and trying to, get them together to, have the bigger bully, maybe get the smaller one in line. Could be how he's viewing it. I mean, I think it's dangerous if Russia and Iran are partners and working together,
Right.
And so it could be that if Russia is on the side of not allowing Iran to have a nuclear weapon, then it's pretty hard. Iran doesn't have anyone left, right? Aren't too
I
many
get
people.
that Putin has a better relationship with Iran than most other world leaders do. I mean, obviously they were helping him in the Ukraine war, and there's all this interconnected.
Yeah, I don't think this is tied to Ukraine. I think it's all. I would think that maybe let's take Ukraine off the table and focus on this right now, right? I think that would almost be the conversation, just because there's so much going on that side of it. To me, it would seem that Putin would agree with the posture of the United States, and so having someone like that who has worked with Iran before also agree with the rest of the world would be impactful.
Well said. Sue, thank you. Grateful to you for coming back. Much appreciated. Tom, welcome in. Tell folks where you are, whether you think Glenn Youngkin would make a good president, and what's on your mind.
He did a great job on the video there, opening the parade.
Yeah, you think he'd be a good president?
I think so, but Vance is going to be our guy, or my guy. But he's gonna continue the golden age.
Yeah, I'm asking because Kristin is very close friends with Governor Youngkin, and a constituent, and a consultant, and I always like to
He's a great
gauge
guy.
Yeah.
I loved hearing his enthusiasm on the parade video about the Army and the history. But yeah, actually, just reflecting on that, no matter what Trump does, the Democrats are always going to go against it. Even with this parade, it wasn't anything about Trump. It was all about the Army. He even stood and saluted each group individually by himself, stood up and saluted his commander-in-chief. I just thought that was so special. But here's the deal. Trump is going to be the one that will lead the Middle East to a prosperous and peaceful decades, hopefully many decades, going forward once Iran, the regime falls and Iran takes over, the people take over, and whatever comes out of that. Through his leadership with the Abraham Accords, through his leadership with the trips, all the work he's done with the Middle Eastern partners, the environment has been set for what has been needed for 2 decades, for the one cog in terror in the Middle East, Iran. And the Bannon Tucker Carlson crowd keeps bringing up Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're wrong. This is a totally different scenario, totally different moment in history. And it is going to go down as he is going to go down as one of our best presidents. And I am looking forward to Iran and Israel leading the Middle East to a beautiful future. And the Democrats won't, he almost got shot in the head, his head blown open. And they spent, 3 days talking about it? And that was it. They moved on.
Tom, thank you for
Democrat
that.
president, they would have droned on for weeks about it.
Yeah. Let's let Kristin respond to some of what you said. Kristin, pick up on whatever you'd like about what Tom said.
I agree. I said to some folks this morning that if this results in, a regime change in Iran and peace in the Middle East, then President Trump will get the Peace Prize. I mean, that's kind of, where we're headed. And sometimes, even though people may not like his style or whatnot, I feel like he is the right person for the right time to get this done. So I agree with what you're saying, Tom. And I think right now it looks like that's the direction it's going, hopefully, right? Hopefully for the people in the Middle East and for the world.
Tom, thank you.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.